Hey everyone, welcome back to Be Nice Yoga Online. My name's Krista, and today we're moving through a yin yoga practice. So the intention for this practice is saying goodbye with an open heart. So if you're new to this channel, you may not know the background, but yesterday was the full moon, and I decided to say goodbye to my yoga space at 326. And I feel like this practice is really about working with an open heart as we say goodbye to the things we really love in our lives, and knowing that there's something else out there for us through it all. So this practice has an underlying, open heart energy to it, but also I really want you to honor whatever shows up for you. I want you to honor all the emotions that show up and really know that this practice is there to support you through whatever you're moving through at this time. So let's get started in seated. Please just hands resting on the knees. Roll your shoulders down your back, sitting up tall. Close the eyes. We're going to spend the first few moments of our practice grounding down, relaxing, and feeling ourselves settling into the moment. As you find this seated position, notice how you're feeling physically through your hips, your back, your shoulders. Taking a full body scan. And then turning your awareness inward now. Let's notice how we're feeling energetically in our heart space. How are we feeling emotionally? So with the overall intention of understanding or saying goodbye with an open heart, setting your own personal intention for this yin yoga practice today. What would you like to focus on? What would you like to work through? So keeping this intention in your heart space, we're just going to very slowly drop our chin to our chest. Take as much time as you need to blink your eyes open. Returning back to the space in your own time, and then lifting up through the gaze. So a few shoulder rolls here as we arrive, just releasing the upper back. So before we get started in our physical practice, making sure you've got your props ready. Bolster is always beautiful for our yin yoga practice, a block as well as a blanket. Our first pose today is the most beautiful heart opener, our butterfly pose. Grabbing your block and your bolster. We're going to set up the block on its medium setting at the back of the mat. And then finding your bolster leaning up on it, so we're making a bolster bridge here. We're going to turn so that our low back is connected with the bolster, removing any other props off the mat. And then option only is to find butterfly pose. So I say that because sometimes butterfly can be quite intense for the hips. If it is, we'll straighten the legs out instead. So feet together or legs straight. We're going to hold the bolster for support, tuck the chin, and very slowly lower back. Feeling your hips nice and heavy, arms just rest out beside you, palms up. Okay, we're closing the eyes if that's comfortable and really noticing our heart space expand, our shoulders relax and release. So you may see me on my phone here throughout our practice today. Our yin yoga class, we hold poses for a longer period of time. So I always like to time them. We're working anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. This helps us move through the superficial tissues of the body and into the fascia, allowing yourself to relax as well as release. Now in this heart opener, energetically, you may feel some emotion show up. That's okay. Really honoring the process today of saying goodbye with an open heart. You may also notice moments in this practice that are quiet. The music's playing, but they may be a little bit, silent. I'm not speaking or directing you into a posture. Notice what happens when there's silence in the air. Are you able to drop deeper into the pose? Are you able to get out of your mind and the chatter happening there and really embrace the silence and the stillness? So we're about halfway through our hold, continuing to rest over your bolster. Okay, checking in with your low back. How does it feel? How are your hips? This is the time in your posture that you can either choose to straighten the legs out and just readjust slightly. Last minute here in our reclined butterfly. Let's take about 3 more breaths in our reclined butterfly position, continuing to feel into your front body, your heart space open. If you want a little bit more for the shoulders for the last few breaths, you can reach the arms up overhead, either straightening them out for a stretch or just letting them drop out beside you, cactus arms. This can be quite intense for the shoulders, so trying it out if you'd like. Nice. If your arms were up overhead, let's slowly bring them down beside the hips. We're going to pull our feet in, bend at the knees. Take a moment here just to sink your hips into the earth, heavy through the body. And then we're going to grab onto our knees, engage through the core, tuck the chin, and very slowly roll up to seated. So taking your time to give yourself such a big hug, curling forehead in towards knees, shoulders are soft. Beautiful. So after our heart opener, we're going to work into the spine. Let's turn ourselves forward. So we want our right knee and hip towards the bolster and our left leg back behind us. So we're coming into a deer twist over the bolster. Now I personally don't like the block on this one, but you're more than welcome to give it a try. We're going to feel ourselves in that deer pose first, and then walk our hands to frame the bolster. Your back hip may lift up a little bit, that's okay. We're going to walk ourselves down, resting your belly, your chest, and then your cheek to the bolster. Again, I'm just going to turn on my clock here for a 3-minute hold. So a yin practice is all about relaxation. nurturing the body, okay, giving back. Give yourself permission to invite that nurturing energy of slow movement, longer holds, and encourage relaxation in the body and mind. We're a little over halfway through our deer twist. If you'd like, you can switch so that your opposite cheek is resting. This brings the twist all the way into the neck. Last few breaths here in our twisted deer. And then from this position to release, let's press our hands into the earth, peel our chest and belly up off the bolster. And then if you can, very gently just transition to hands and knees, please. We're going to take our time to maraud the body around. A little bit of cat-cow may feel nice, swaying from side to side. Between our deer twists, we're going to do a child's pose, taking your knees as wide as your mat or your blanket. Toes touch, hips sink down and back behind us. So I like my bolster in between the knees. And then just walking the hands out to rest your hips back. Okay, so choose your option here, bolster or no bolster. We're here for 3 minutes once again. So really honoring what shows up for you in child's pose. There may be a bit of intensity through your hips and low back. You may feel some release through the shoulders and upper back as well. We're just taking our time, breathing into that sensation and allowing it to release. With every exhale. We're about halfway through our hold, so switching the side of the cheek that's resting, please, making sure the neck feels even. Last few breaths here. And then as you're ready to release our child's pose, let's feel the hands planting. Take a big inhale to release all the way up to table. Bring the knees back underneath the hips. And then again, just some movement side to side. Whenever you need to completely release that stretch, so you can straighten one leg back at a time, super nice option. So all we're going to do is switch sides. Now if you were with me, we were on the right side. Let's bring our left hip down. We're going to sweep our right leg back behind us, finding ourselves in that deer twist on the other side. So sorry to have my back to you. We're just going to stay working with the bolster here. Let's walk the hands out to frame the bolster as we very slowly lower down. Left cheek finds the bolster for a 3-minute hold. Really inviting that nice deep twist through the spine, the stretch through the hips. We're halfway through our deer twist, so if you'd like, you can bring your opposite cheek to the bolster, bringing this full twist all the way through the neck as well. Be very mindful and careful when we work into the neck. Let's take 3 more breaths here, please. When you're ready, we're going to plant our hands into the earth and slowly rise up off the bolster, taking your time. This time we're going to come all the way forward towards the top of the mat, and then unwind the legs here, coming back to where we started in our reclined butterfly. So hands plant and just knock your knees side to side. Super nice release for your hips. So we're just going to do one more heart opener and then close our practice together today. Now this is probably the most intense heart opener, and I want you to be really mindful about this one. What we're going to do is bring our bolster the same way as our mat behind us, and then we're going to bring our block to the back of the mat. Okay, so what we're going to work towards is rolling back and opening up through the chest and shoulders. So legs are straight for this one. We're going to very slowly walk. Now you may need some time to work into this. I like to come down onto my elbows first and just notice where the bolster is in space, and then starting to slowly walk. So it should be right around the shoulders, a little bit below the shoulders, and then releasing the head onto the block behind you. Okay, so you're going to notice right away how intense this is. Arms are out beside you, so that's where the bolster should be, that your arms can reach out beside. If you need to adjust, do so. We're opening the upper back, the chest, the shoulders, and resting here. Legs are long and heavy. Eyes are closed. Beautiful heart opener for our last pose today. Really allowing yourself to breathe into the intensity. Use the breath as a way to soften, okay, to surrender into the intensity. Be mindful of your low back. Be mindful of the chest and shoulders. This needs to be a really healthy and safe posture. And if it's not, what you can do is move back into our reclined butterfly with the bolster supporting the spine. It's a little bit of a shorter hold, just due to the intensity. We've got a few more breaths here, continuing to open up the heart space. Beautiful work, everyone. Let's feel our elbows back onto the bolster and plant the feet, please. Just taking your time. So this is an important posture to come out of very slowly and mindfully, using the strength of our core as opposed to our neck. Okay, so grab your legs if you can. Use the strength of your core to roll up. And once again, give yourself a big hug, foreheaded towards the knees. I'm going to stay here for a few more breaths. Beautiful. Let's release that, giving ourselves some time to walk the feet out, drop your knees side to side. Any sort of counter movement that you need for any of our postures today. And then when you're ready, I want you to remove the bolster, remove the block, and find yourself lying on your back. Now, I like my bolster under my knees for support for the low back. So if that's something you prefer in rest, go ahead and take it. I'll give everyone about 10 breaths here to set up. I'm not going to lay down today. I'm going to stay seated and move you through a reading. But just taking your time to get into your rest position today, whatever that looks like for you. We've got 5 more breaths here if you need a little bit more movement or stretch at all. And then as you feel ready, I want you to settle into a place of stillness. Place of stillness in the body. Place of ease and relaxation. Giving yourself permission to really be here in the next few moments. To rest, to let go, and to be present. Arriving in your Shavasana with a big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's do that again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Last time, in and out. Beautiful. Letting go of any of those deep breaths, any control you may have over the breath. I want you to feel the natural rhythm of your breath flow in and out through the nose. Feeling your body sinking into your mat, into the earth. Reflecting on how you felt physically through your practice today. How you felt emotionally in your practice today. For our Shavasana, I'm going to read you a passage from my favorite book called Journey to the Heart. And the passage is called Say Goodbye with an Open Heart. On our journey, we meet many souls with whom we interact, exchange energy in a way that enhances our growth and theirs. We learn lessons together, we break bread, we share love, but there often comes a time to say goodbye. A goodbye can come suddenly, unexpected, without much warning, or a goodbye can be expected, planned on, and take a while to work out. The length of time doesn't matter. What matters is how we handle our goodbyes. We can do it with an open heart, saying thank you for all we've learned, or we can close our hearts and bitterly say we've lost again. We can say goodbye with an attitude of trust, faith, and love, believing in our hearts to lead us. Or we can do it with harsh judgment, asking what's wrong with us that our paths didn't let us stay together. We can say goodbye with our hearts open, feeling our sadness, our longing, and our joy. Or we can say goodbye with emotions walled off, saying that that's just the way life is. Sometimes it's time to say goodbye. We can't always choose timing, but we can choose the words of our heart. And sometimes it's not goodbye, it's till we meet again. Just letting that reading wash over you, noticing what showed up for you. And then as you feel ready, we're going to deepen our breath, please. Allowing for some gentle movement to return to our hands and feet. If you're not ready to leave Shavasana, you don't have to. This is your practice, it's your time. So with some gentle movement back into the body, maybe a full body stretch, arms reaching up overhead, engaging every muscle. And exhale. We're going to hug our knees into our chest, please. Invite that rocking from side to side. And then with that rocking, dropping over onto your left side, please. Sinking here for a few deep breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll press up to seated. Back to the same position that we began our practice, seated, hands resting, eyes closed. What I'd like you to do is inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, big breath in as we press the palms, and exhale the hands to prayer at the heart center, bow your head forward. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Thank you for a beautiful yin yoga practice today. Namaste. Thank you everyone for your class today. This is a great opportunity to relax and let go. Just so everyone is aware, I'm going to be offering a free 7-day yoga journey starting next Monday, May 11th, all through YouTube. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment or reach out. Thank you.